Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the eventual return, likely in February, for the second part of The Walking Dead Season 11. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on whether or not we think that Rosita was bitten when she went outside to protect Judith and the others in Alexandria. So this is one that sort of came up this weekend when we were doing the Sunday night live stream after the Walking Dead's tri-season finale, which is just the end of the first part for The Walking Dead Season 11. So that's up to the end of Episode 8. So if you haven't seen it yet, AMC Plus, you can watch this video next week. It'll be useful after you see that episode. It'll make sense. Spoilers to follow. So we have in the episode a bunch of things happening. We have the stuff with the Reapers, Maggie, Daryl, Negan, everybody else are kind of fighting in that location at the Meridian. And then back at Alexandria, we have the situation where the wall has not been holding up. Everybody is kind of starving, super hungry. And we have Judith, Virgil, Rosita, as well as Lydia and some of the others, Gracie, that are stuck inside of one of the houses with a whole bunch of walkers that have come in, and a lot of the survivors have kind of gone out to try to stop the walkers from getting in and to try to block off the wall, Aaron and a lot of the others. So we kind of have Rosita there as maybe the best fighter that's in the house out of everybody. So to protect Judith and Gracie and all of the others, she decides at a point to go outside and to maybe dwindle down the numbers, kill off some walkers, push them away from the house, buy them some time so that the doors aren't pushed in and then they're kind of trapped inside. So they're holding back the doors and everything. She decides to go out, and it is kind of a no way out, similar type of situation. Smaller though, not the same amount of walkers or zombies as we saw in No Way Out, but enough. And considering that she's kind of going out by herself, it's not like Rick goes out and then everybody else goes out to kind of join him, although she was there for that, so she kind of would remember that and kind of maybe have learned a few things from it or have seen a few things, and so she decides to go out by herself. Now, a lot of people thought that when she came back in, she did have a lot of blood on her, so people were thinking, was she bitten? There is blood specifically on her neck type area, which I thought was blood splatter from her, hacking up a whole bunch of walkers out in front of the house, so they're splattering blood onto her. I didn't take it as she had been bitten by any of them. Now, we do see kind of the scenes of her going out onto the front porch, and you have Judith who's watching her, and so she's killing a whole bunch in and around there, down the stairs, in and around, and then she kind of circles back up at some point, knocks on the door and comes back in and says, let's stay away from the windows, in a pretty good line. So it's raining, it's kind of miserable storm, and you have walkers everywhere. So she comes back in, and there are some scenes after that, actually. She does, after that, continue to help stabilize the doors, push back on the doors with Lydia and the others, but eventually they have to go upstairs. So she does have some blood in her neck even after that, but she's holding the doors back, and she tells everyone to go upstairs now, and they do so. She doesn't appear in the further scenes there to look like she's holding her neck or anything like that. She's still able to hold the door back, and so you think that if she had just been bitten, somewhere in a way that was, devastating as a walker bite usually would be, she probably wouldn't have been able to hold the door back. So I think that this one is false. I do not think that she was bitten when she went outside. I think she achieved what she wanted to achieve, bought them some time, and then eventually they had to kind of go upstairs, not knowing that Judith and Gracie would kind of go off in their own direction there and end up downstairs where the basement's flooding and everything, and walkers are kind of coming into the coming into the house. So at the end of the episode, Angela Kang did sort of describe it for us, and she said that it was like they decided to do it because it was like a fun scene to see Rosita kind of go out and kill walkers. She's a really good fighter, one of the best on the Survivors team. So they decided to do that because it was fun. So I don't think they decided to have her go out to have her be bitten in that type of a way. I would think of that as kind of a death that's sort of not quite, it'd be kind of a lackluster death. Now, it isn't to say that they've never done that before. They did that with Carl. They had him have like a totally lackluster death where he was bitten and then we didn't know. And then later on it was kind of revealed. And people were really, really upset with that. But personally, I think if you're going to have them go out, if you're going to kill them off, do it in a big way or something, in a big fight or something crazy. And then, maybe they fall in battle or something, get hit by a grenade or something. I don't know. Just something like in Carl's case, instead of just being bitten during all that, well, why not just have a grenade like, somebody drops a grenade and blows them apart or something. Something really freaking crazy like that. That'll get surprise everybody. Lackluster, like they got bitten, we didn't know, and then we find out 3 episodes later. I don't think it works very well. So I don't think that's what they're doing during this mid-season break with Rosita. But definitely leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about this one. That's the way I interpreted it. But, of course, I could be wrong. So leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. And so we do have some different comments from you guys regarding the episode. We had one from SamtheMan who said, Rosita channeled the hell out of Rick. Very reminiscent of No Way Out. So I agree. Very cool. Rosita Espinosa said, YouTube user, episode 2 of World Beyond Season 2 was a lot better than the season premiere. So I'm still partway through watching the second episode. I'm going to watch the rest later, and I'll have a review for you guys maybe tomorrow or the next day. When I get a chance to do it. It's not top priority for me, but I'm interested to see Jadis. Interested to see how that connects with the Rick movies, and people are telling me that the second episode is better than the first one. So I'll definitely check it out soon and let you guys know once I've seen it. Duncan H says, are the Commonwealth people bad people, or are they kind of like bad guys? So even though it seems that the Commonwealth with Lance have sort of used some tricky tactics with our survivors, they've given Eugene a fake Stephanie, they've used some different tactics and punishment and coercive means to get some information from Eugene about his community, and it sounds like he's going to be giving that up to Lance. Even though that's the case, I wouldn't say necessarily that the Commonwealth are bad people. I would say that they're mostly good. Not that their society is perfect. No society is. They're mostly good, though. But the TV series version could be different from the comics, and so we'll have to see. But I'd say they're not terribly bad. Like, they're not as bad as like the governor or maybe Negan when we first met him in the series. Gareth or some of the others. So definitely not as bad as them, but they have both good and bad qualities, but they're more to the good side, I'd say. 60-70% they're good, 30-40% maybe they get into some darker stuff. Crimson Vu said, I just subscribed. It's relieving to watch a YouTuber who does Walking Dead content on a positive note. Well, I try to stay positive, Crimson. I'm just grateful, and thank you for subscribing. I'm just grateful that we still have Walking Dead. I'm grateful that it's still on. If I think back, like Game of Thrones ended season 8, and they both started around the same time, so they could have ended Walking Dead during season 8. They could have ended it a while ago. So for me, I just love to get more seasons, more episodes of it. I understand that you don't have Rick there, and so and Michonne, and some people have to leave, and so maybe would it be cooler if like Rick was still in the show and you had Daryl and everybody else too, and if you still had Morgan as well on top of that, and Dwight, and they didn't give them over to Fear and things like this. Well, yeah, but personally, I love it. I'm happy to see it. It's great stuff, and I love the episodes, and also too that. You have to remember, they've done so many episodes of Walking Dead now, everything, a lot of the stuff feels like something we've seen before. Like, the Rosita part feels a bit like No Way Out. The stuff with Daryl feels a bit like maybe when he was first captured by the Reapers, brought back some feelings of like season 7, when Negan the Saviors had kind of put the A on his shirt and made him, like a janitor or something, like a slave janitor. So, it's very hard for them to make up or to come up with like new concepts that really feel new, considering how many episodes they've done, add on all the stuff from Fear. So I'm just really happy that we're still getting Walking Dead. And I don't expect every episode to be like No Way Out, for example, Too Far Gone, the final battles of the Whisperer War, like not every episode and every half is going to be like that. And we shouldn't expect it to be the case. Definitely you're going to have some awesome episodes. Definitely you're going to have some more spectacle type episodes, but not everyone is, they're not going to be able to do that every 2 or 3 episodes. That's not how it works. That's not reasonable. Julie King says, Daryl will either have to kill Leah or she'll come over to our side. Yeah, so predictions for what will happen with Leah. Leave your predictions below, guys. I don't think Leah is ever going to come to the Survivor's side. I don't think she'll ever come to Daryl's side, no. I think that Daryl, maybe Daryl won't be able to kill her, but Maggie or somebody like that will probably have to do it. I just don't see any which way that Leah would assimilate into the Survivors and be with Daryl. Like, I don't see it happening. Those are my predictions. Leave yours below, guys. What do you think is going to happen with Leah? Do you think that we could see her join the Survivors? I say no way. I don't see it. Owen M says, no, dog. Yeah, it was weird in the episode because you have the scenes with Leah and Daryl. You don't always have Dog there. They used him well for when he had to pick between them. That was interesting to me, to see him kind of go to Leah and like not return. That was kind of weird and unusual. So it's good stuff, but I'm not sure exactly where he is, and I'm not sure exactly what will happen, because considering that they're at odds, I tend to think that Dog will return to Daryl and be with Daryl. He was with Daryl longer, I think, and so over time here. So I think that Dog eventually will choose Daryl. I don't think he'll continue to choose Leah. And I don't think that Leah really cares that much, because if you think about it, she did leave him. She didn't bring him with her originally. She left him with Daryl, right? So is just what it was, if I recall that correctly. Then we had Tiffany Rose, who said same episode, gave it a 10. Great episode. That Whisper kill of the first Reaper was fantastic. I agree. The Negan one, well, they a bunch of them get stabs in, but Negan, I think, is the first one to dodge and get him. It was just so cool to see it from the other perspective, to see us like rooting for Whisperers. In this case, it's Whisperer Negan and Whisperer Maggie. But it was just cool to see that, it was cool to see that done from our side, like from our perspective, because the whole time we've been seeing it the other way around, how scary it is and everything. But now that we're getting to see it as a tool that the Survivors are using, it's yeah, very cool, man. Very, very cool. Ion SHIV said, the show is so bad I can't stand watching it. I only watch it because I feel obligated to as a Walking Dead fan. Now, that's for World Beyond he's referring to. So let me clarify there. World Beyond is so bad, he's saying. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, I think the Perimeter is the name of this other community that they're kind of going to in World Beyond. I just feel like, so many episodes have been done. It reminds me, like them being at a community like that, it reminds me in some ways of it kind of feels like, oh yeah, I've seen something like this before. And they don't have Survivors that I really care that much about in World Beyond. So I'm not surprised that it got 2 seasons. I hope it has something good for us with Jadis and the others, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. It's just kind of like, for me, it's there. I'll watch it with you guys. I'll try to have fun with it, but definitely, I don't have too, I don't have too high expectations for World Beyond. For me, it's just like, yeah, it's there. You can watch it. If you don't want to, that's fine too. I get it. It's not that good to where you're gonna really make a point to never miss an episode or something. It's not, it's not at that level. Nathan G says they went from half a dozen Reapers down to 6. LOL. So yeah, I think they're around 6 or so. Maybe I'm missing some, and I can't think of them. There was the one Reaper who looks like he's a pastor or something of the sort, right? Similar, like the opposite to Gabriel that we saw, if you guys remember. So he's in there, and some of the others are in there, and Carver's in there. So they do have some, but their numbers are going to be small compared to the amount that we have in Alexandria. If you add up everybody in Alexandria with with Daryl and the others, definitely I would expect Daryl and the others to win at some point here, should the fighting continue, unless there's some kind of peace deal or the Reapers decide to leave or something like that. So Divine Pestilence will leave us with the last one, who said the artillery weapon is a hwacha. They were developed in the 15th century in Korea, so it is a really different and kind of cool weapon that they sort of set up and they kind of fire down. Some people think there are kind of fireworks in it. Some people think there's dynamite in it. So expect to see, and even if it was fireworks, if you fire that many into the same spot on the ground, I think it would be pretty devastating. But if it's dynamite, it's going to cause, then Maggie and Negan might be dead, right? So, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to have to get out of the way. It is weird also to see, like, Maggie and Negan fighting side by side. Like, if Negan, like, rushes in to save Maggie and, like, they kind of go off in the same section as the things are coming down and blow up. So he kind of, like, saves her in a way. It's just weird. It's really odd to see the two of them, like, but then again, there is Batman, right? So, it's just, I don't know, it's odd. So, I don't know. Leave your comments below about all that stuff, guys. Was Rosita bitten? I say no. Will Leah ever join the survivors? I say no. And how do you feel about continued? How do you feel about the Negan Maggie fighting side by side thing, which was quite unexpected coming into the season? If you like this video, thumb it up below, share, favorite, and subscribe at the bottom if you're new. So for this one, I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev. Say peace later, guys. See you soon.